and welcome to the Miss World Head-to-Head Challenge. I'm Stephanie Del Valle.
And I'm Tony Ann Singh.
And we are here at the Hyatt Regency Grand Reserve in Puerto Rico.
Yes, ladies, I'm so excited to welcome you all here. As you know, the Head-to-Head Challenge was created in 2017 as a way to give all of these beautiful women, these beautiful countries, their day at Miss World.
And it has been so successful that we have interacted with over 2 billion people since then.
Yes. Before we begin, let's meet our countries.
Costa Rica, India, Hungary, Canada, Cote d'Ivoire, and Guinea. Welcome, ladies. How have you enjoyed your experience at Miss World so far?
It has been fantastic being here in Puerto Rico, especially coming from Canada, enjoying the gorgeous weather. Me encanta Puerto Rico. Es mi segunda casa.
Pues bienvenidas.
We're so glad to hear that, Canada. Before we begin, let's explain how the head-to-head works. All the contestants are split into 16 groups. The winner of each group is decided by you, our audience, so remember to vote. Here's how. There are 3 ways to vote: liking the contestants' official Miss World Facebook page, voting for them on the Miss World website, or voting for them on their official Mobstar account.
The contestant with the most increase in votes, likes, and follows after this episode will advance. Remember, only one contestant per episode can advance for a chance to win her spot in the all-important Miss World Final semi-final.
The winner of each group will then go on to compete in the Miss World head-to-head final in the Capitol building in Puerto Rico.
Well, let's begin meeting Group 14 with Costa Rica.
The most valuable gift we can give to ourselves is to live an authentic life. My name is Tamara Dalmazo, a 23-year-old dreamer and doer who understood the world is changed by our example and not our opinions. I'm honored to be Miss World Costa Rica, representing the land of Pura Vida. I'm blessed to live in the Central Pacific Coast, where the sky kisses the sea and the sun kisses your skin. I grew up with the enormous privilege of a loving family that has always supported me and taught me the value of nature, humbleness, and above all, having a strong sense of belonging to my community. My father is a fisherman who inherited me with a deep love and gratitude towards the ocean. And my mother is a strong woman who is both my anchor to remind me where I come from and my sail to remind me that great things are achieved outside of our comfort zone. My brain and my heart are full of ideas and life is too short to keep them to myself. So I studied visual communication to build a career that gives space to my creative energy while allowing me to work on my other passions. I have discovered that our body is capable of amazing things. That's why, as a show of gratitude towards life, I challenge mine as much as I can through movement. Practicing jiu-jitsu, judo, and surfing have been the great catalyst for my empowerment. There is so much I am, and hopefully so much I'm yet to be, but rest assured that in me you will always find a helping hand and a voice ready to speak for those who need their voices to be amplified. Pura vida.
Costa Rica, in your video, you talk so highly about your parents, and you mentioned that your father is a fisherman. And we wanted to know, what was it like growing up by the sea?
Thank you so much, Stephanie, for that question. Hello, Tony. Because that question, it's really touches a sensitive part of my being, and I really want to that you guys get to know me better. So my dad's not only a fisherman, he's the best fisherman. He'd love me to say that. And growing up with him was amazing. Whenever he rarely got a day off, but when he did, he chooses to go fishing, okay? So that taught me my first big life lesson. He told me that hard work, for it to be effective, it has to be driven by passion. So that's the first thing I learned from my father. And also, he's a provider, and I don't mean this by saying that He puts a plate of food in my table, which is seafood and is amazing. But he also is a provider of love, of life lessons, of random but really useful life skills. So something that it's really important for me that he provided for me is consciousness. And I mean this because if he didn't have his career as a fisherman, I don't know if I would have been such a sensitized and connected person to my community, which is really important to me coming from a beach town. Because coming from a beach town, you get to see the two sides of the coin. You get to see tourism, development, new cultures, happy people. But there's also something that we cannot deny, which is poverty and a lot of problems that I wish there weren't, but there are in my community. And my father and my family, they always told me, like, look around you, count your blessings, but be aware that not everybody has the same possibilities, the same opportunities that you do. Not everybody has the same doors open as you do. And what you have to do with that, he told me, is you have to work in creating a horizontal relationship with your community. You have to get involved, you have to be active, you have to be connected to them, because you don't have to feel superior. You have to feel like you're the same, and you have to use your tools, your voice, everything you have, so you can help them, allow them to benefit from your benefits.
Yeah, that is beautiful. And
I thank you for that.
I can tell that your father is a very, very important person in your life, and he must be feeling so proud of you right now.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for allowing me to express that.
Yeah.
And I really want to take this moment to thank him for everything he's done and everything he's doing for the person I am and the person I'm becoming.
Send him a hello.
Love you, Dad.
All right. Thank you so much, Costa Rica.
Thank you.
Now let's meet India.
Namaskaram. I am Manasa Varanasi, and my heart swells with pride as I represent my musical and spiritual motherland, India. I come from Hyderabad, where north meets south, where palaces, skyscrapers, languages, and religions all collide in colorful celebration. My close-knit family includes my precious grandmother and younger sister, who along with my parents nurtured my sense of wonder through arts and academics. This, along with my love for nature, yoga, reading, and meaningful relationships, helps me create balance between my mind, body, and soul. I studied computer science and built a successful career around it, but deep down, I realized that I was not fulfilled because it was not personal success that I craved. My work with endangered children has taught me that I feel most beautiful when I am giving, when I am connected to an act of service. And it is this exact belief that brings me to Miss World. And it is a privilege for me to celebrate humanity at the 70th Miss World. I send all of you love and light from India, and I can't wait to meet my fellow sisters from across the world in Puerto Rico. Hasta la vista!
As an Indian woman, I wanted to ask you, what makes you the most proud about your culture?
Representing India itself is a huge honor. Well, back in India, we traditionally greet each other by saying Namaskaram. And Namaskaram literally translates as the light in me welcomes the light in you. And I think this is a beautiful word really to showcase how much we value respect in our culture. Respect not only towards each other, but also the planet that we live in. And I think when we speak of respect, most Indians believe that the one uniting force that exists in the world is energy. The same energy that's in you is the same energy that's in me, and it's the same energy that's in the world, really. And it's this energy that drives us to really be participants, meaningful participants in life, who respect the planet that we live in. And even when we look back at our traditional practices in India, right? Everything, right from our traditional practice of eating from a banana leaf, to our practice of bucket water baths, which in fact conserve precious water. And even our clothing, in fact. Our clothing is all about natural dyes, organic cotton, and handlooms, all of which is just very respectful for the planet. And these ideas might be ancient, right? But I think the idea of a sustainable, conscious planet is in fact very modern. It's something that we should totally adopt in our daily lifestyles. And when we speak of sustainability, another thing that I'm suddenly reminded of is that in Hindi, we have the same word for yesterday and tomorrow. And what this basically tries to tell us is that time is a circle. Everything that we do today is in fact going to impact our tomorrow. And I think it's this value of sustainability that I really treasure deep inside of me. India is really a melting pot of cultures, diversity. There's so much wisdom and sensitivity that my culture carries, and it's this concept of sustainability that I treasure and hold very close to my heart.
Oh, that's beautiful. And I've visited India with Miss World quite a few times. So everything that you're talking about, I've seen firsthand, and it truly is beautiful. I'm so glad that you're so proud of your home and of your culture. Thank you so much, India.
Thank you.
Now, let's meet Hungary.
Tóth Peti Lili vagyok, 20 éves és Nagykanizsáról érkeztem. Idén szeptemberben kezdtem el a tanulmányaimat az egyetemen, méghozzá a Budapesti Gazdaságin, és közösségszervező szeretnék lenni. A barátaim, a családom, és én is úgy gondolom, hogy egy nagyon pozitív és könnyen megnyíló személyiség vagyok. Ha valamit a fejembe veszek, azt véghez viszem, és most is így fogok eljárni. Számos példaképpen van, de mondhatni David Attenborough, hiszen a környezetvédelem és az állatok szeretete az nálam már nagyon kiskorom óta kezdődött, ezért számomra nagyon fontos, hogy óvjuk és védjük a környezetünket, hiszen nagyon fontos az, hogy mit hagyunk magunk mögött majd a következő generációknak. Már kiskorom óta nagyon érdekelte a szépségipar, illetve a szépségkirálynősködést mondhatni. Rengeteget gyakoroltam, tüköröt vonultam anyukám magas sarkújban, úgyhogy ez egy hatalmas nagy álom lenne, hogy megnyerhessem ezt a versenyt. Ha én lennék 2021 Miss World Hungaria, biztosan kiállnék az állatok védelméért, illetve a környezetünk védelméért.
Hungary, I wanted to ask you, how did you start your Beauty with a Purpose project?
Oh, that's a long story, but it's so lovely. When I was 4, I moved to the countryside with my mother to my stepdad's house. It's next to a little forest, so I was always have been around with wild animals. And when I was little, I grew up watching nature documentaries. So when I saw at the first time Sir David Attenborough's film, I was shocked. And he is so impressive and a huge man. And this is where maybe my career and the love of animals was started. So first of all, my goal is to protect animals and the whole ecosystem. Mm-hmm. So protect the environment is another point in my mission, because our world we live in is now in changing. So protect the environment is also a point in my mission, because our world, the home we are living, is changing at the moment, and we should take step urgently in order to make it better and make huge changes.
That's fantastic, Hungary. You were a great example of how important it is to protect our animals and to protect our environment. Especially, it's something that we should all be very conscious about. So I congratulate you for being that. Thank you so much.
Well, we've met the first 3. Now on to Canada.
Hi,
Canada.
Tony. Hi, Tony.
How are you?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Hello, my name is Svetlana Mamaeva, and I am proudly representing Canada, one of the most multicultural and diverse nations in the world. I immigrated from Moldova to follow my dream of education, which also meant having to separate from my mother. Our sacrifices paid off when I graduated with an honors degree in finance and started working as a business technology analyst. Family is everything to me, and I am so fortunate to have my grandparents here in Canada. Keeping them safe during the pandemic inspired me to support others, most recently providing 10,000 face masks to senior shelters. In my free time, I love dancing and traveling. I speak 3 languages, and I've been to nearly 30 countries. I can't wait to be in Puerto Rico for the 70th anniversary of Miss World. Hasta pronto, Puerto Rico!
Canada. My question is, how has immigrating to Canada from Moldova shaped the passion and purpose you have found?
It shaped me as a woman in so many ways. First of all, on a personal level, I always knew that my grandparents sacrificed everything they had, left the life behind as they knew it, just so I have a chance to live the life that they never had, just so I can follow my dreams. And knowing that, seeing how much they struggled, they didn't even speak English. Grandma didn't know how to drive. So seeing everything they went through just for me to have this chance gave me the sense of purpose, responsibility, gratitude to live every single day like it matters. And on the bigger scale, of course, because Canada is so multicultural, there are dreamers and doers from all over the world. Being here, I feel like I represent their voices, represent their stories, their hopes, passions, and dreams. And to me, that truly means the world.
Well, we're so proud of you. We know that your grandparents are so proud of the way you're representing all of their sacrifices and all the lessons they've taught you. And we know that Canada must be so proud to have an advocate for the diversity within its country, within its ranks. So thank you so much, Canada.
Thank you, Tony.
And now, Côte d'Ivoire.
Hello world, I'm Olivia Yasse, I'm 23 years old and I hold a bachelor's degree in marketing and management. I am Miss Côte d'Ivoire 2021 and I'm on the way to Miss World. Follow me.
Beflemi, Olivia Yasse, Nana Ablapoku, Yanuma Yolemi.
Who marked the history of my region and my country thanks to her sacrifice, her bravery, and her dignity. Have you heard of Côte d'Ivoire? This beautiful country in West Africa, cocoa. I come from the country which is the largest producer and exporter of cocoa beans in the world. Football. I come from the country of Didier Drogba, a great international player known for his talent and his track record. The Notre Dame de la Paix Basilica. I come from the country where the largest basilica in the world is located. It is precisely in Yamoussoukro, the capital of my country. Do you like dancing? Wait until you see one of our amazingly beautiful and technical dance masks, Zaouli. It is a true bearer of cultural identity. In this regard, my country, the Côte d'Ivoire, has about 60 ethnic groups, each rich in their own way, from north to south, from east to west. You'll discover customs and traditions enriched by time. Let me share with you a glimpse of the beauty and diversity of our landscapes. Beaches, savannas, mountains, streams, and rivers.
She's unique and her energy is very contagious.
She's the life of the party.
And she's just so funny. She's always been devoted and caring.
She has always brought joy into our home.
I now invite you to my home, in my privacy. Finding myself and recharging my batteries with my loved ones, my pillar, is essential. Little secret, do not repeat it especially to anyone. In my family, we all share a passion for singing. Besides, my uncle, who is also my godfather, is a great artist at heart. I am very grateful for this education I received, which allowed me to open up to the world, but also to accept and affirm my identity. In my turn, I would like to help by carrying my voice to bring my support to all minorities, vulnerable people, and by fighting against discrimination of all kinds, so that each individual in their uniqueness can flourish in the plurality of the world. Assuming your identity is a responsibility.
Côte d'Ivoire, how are you?
I'm great, thank you, Tony.
You know, watching your video, you said something very quickly, but I did catch it. You said you're the granddaughter of a queen.
Ablapoku, yes.
Incredible. Can you speak to us about that?
Of course. So in my video, I decided to say that I am the descendant of Ablapoku. And Ablapoku is a very famous African and Ivorian queen known for her rare beauty, but truly for her heart, for her bravery, and for her courage. And I briefly tell her story, which is a story of a queen who has to run away from enemies with her people.
and is faced with a very difficult choice of sacrificing her only son to save an entire population. And I'm so proud and honored to be part of that ethnic group, royal ethnic group called Les Akans Baolé. And today I'm wearing the symbolic crown with the gold elements to represent my culture, my history, and to embody Aglapoku herself. And her story is a story that I grew up with. It's a story that really inspires me on a daily basis. And I really wanted to highlight the power and the impact that women have in our society. And I just think it's a beautiful thing. And I really hope through my video that it will inspire young girls like it inspired me, and that they will aspire themselves to be strong, independent, and brave leaders in their society.
Yes. Oh, Cote d'Ivoire, that's a beautiful story.
Thank you.
We're so proud of you, and I know that your family is so excited to see the way that you've embodied all that your great ancestor has done, and you now have her strength within your bones, and you're continuing to represent the strength of the woman, and we're just so excited to have you. Thank you. And now, Guinea.
This is for my country, my purpose, my dreams, and for the young women that persevere every day. I am you. We are the world. I am Saramba, and I hail from the water tower of West Africa, Guinea. Guinea means woman. It's the land of the brave and a vessel of warmth. Much like me, Guinea is filled with resilience. This year and every year, I stand for her. I am a 26 years old honors graduate of the University of Ottawa with a degree in accounting. As a world traveler, I have been able to experience so many cultures and work with humanitarian organizations to help ensure access to proper education. Education to me is the foundation of change, as it is essential to growth in any country. I stand as a queen who seeks to educate the youth about tolerance in regards to individuals with epilepsy. My beauty with the purpose is to take ignorance out of epilepsy, to raise awareness on the disease. Awareness defeats ignorance, and I will always utilize my platform to showcase that. With my social media presence, I host Taboo Free Thursday once a week. We discuss social awareness topics, educate the youth on tolerance, and we also highlight ways to embrace womanhood.
If given the opportunity, it would be my honor to be a Miss World. I will be the beauty who provides purpose and safe space for us all to be seen and heard. I am the young girl who dreams of change, and I will represent her every day. I am elated to be at Miss World and contribute to the Beauty with the Purpose program to come about positive and impactful change in our society. A dream come true is an understatement. Gracias por recibirnos a todos en su hermoso país. No puedo esperar para abrazarlos a todos. See you all at Miss World.
Guinea, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, and you?
I'm doing well, thank you. My question is, you're a world traveler and passionate about being a world citizen. So how do you apply what you learned during your travels to your life and to your goals?
Well, first of all, I love learning new cultures, and I was privileged enough to travel to over 27 countries. And I strongly believe that one of our biggest riches is to addition culture, to go towards one another, especially the ones that don't look like us, just so we see that we are all the same at the end of the day. It made me grow so much as a person, learn so much about myself, found out that we all are unique human beings and we should embrace that individuality, but at the same time that we are so similar in our cultures. Even here in Puerto Rico, I feel so at home because I see things here that I have been seeing my whole life in Guinea, and I've went, like I said, to many countries, and I have seen things there that I've experienced in Guinea as well. So I really believe that we have to we are wired for connection as human beings, and we have to learn from one another to be able to love one another, understand each other, accept one another. And that's how we create a beautiful community where we all live. I like to always say that inside every single one of us, there is all of us. So we should be more mindful of one another and practice collective kindness, because at the end of the day, we all are the same, basically.
I really, really resonate with that quote. This actually makes me think of that song that says, "It's a small world after all." Because really,
word.
even in my own travels with Miss World, I've been able to see that there's so many similarities, a lot more than we see differences. And so it is, in fact, a small world after all. We are, in essence, as you said, a part of each other. We are all, right? So thank you so much, Guinea.
Thank you for having me.
That.
Me too.
Well, there you have it. This is Group 14.
Now it is time for you, the audience, to start voting for your favorite contestants. Group 14 have done their first part, but they have their second, so now it's time for you to vote, and here's how.
There are 3 ways to vote: liking the contestants' official Miss World Facebook page, voting for them on the Miss World website, or voting for them on their official Mobstar account.
The contestant with the most increase in votes, likes, and follows after this episode will advance. Remember, only one contestant per episode can advance for a chance to win her spot in the all-important Miss World Final semi-final.
It's now time for the final question, and we'll begin with Costa Rica. Costa Rica, how do you define success?
Well, that's an interesting question because success is subjective. Everybody has their own definition. It depends on the context. But to me, success is that smile you have at the end of the day when it's been a long day and you're tired, but you know that your work is worth it. It is when you're happy with what you're doing, regardless of the results you're getting.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I think that kind of goes back to what your father had said, that when you are working, you should be passionate, you should be happy with what you do.
Exactly.
And if you're doing what makes you happy, every day will not feel like work.
That's what matters the most.
Yeah.
Thank you, Costa Rica.
Thank you.
And now to India. Your question is, if you could give your younger self advice, what would it be?
I was a very shy child growing up. I had a small circle of friends, and I totally remember that day when I froze in front of the school assembly when it was my turn to read out the news for the day. But if I had to give one piece of advice, then I would just like to say talk. Step out of your shell and talk. When you have the gift of sound, the gift of voice, then it only makes sense to really exercise it, to build new friendships, to speak up for what matters and exercise it in the best way possible.
Right. I know it's so important because if you had not decided to talk, you wouldn't be with us today. And so we're very, very proud that you've not only decided to open your mouth, but open your mouth on behalf of all the people in your country that you get to represent, on behalf of your Beauty with a Purpose, and on behalf of what we do here at Miss
I see
World.
so much beauty in sound, and I love immersing myself in this
Yes,
world.
you know that's what I love as well, so I completely understand. Thank you, India.
I probably would have given myself the same advice because I didn't actually get to find my voice until I was exposed to something like Miss World, which I assume a lot of you had the same experience. So that's something good to follow too.
Yes, we're very proud. Thank you, India.
Hungary, your question is, tell me the one thing in your life that you are proudest of.
Definitely my family, because my mom and my dad always helped me a lot to be there and be like me, like Lily. And maybe my stepfather, because he told me a lot about how to appreciate animals and the whole ecosystem. And I'm so thankful to my hometown because they always behind me and helped me a lot. And I'm so happy and thankful. There are a lot of people, awesome people around me who helped me. Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful. Clearly, your family must be as proud as you are of them. They must be as proud of you too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. They are watching you now. They are super happy. Your home, your country, everyone here is supporting you, and all your sisters are here too.
And you know what
so
I would
happy.
say? What
They're
I
happy
would say. What I would
Give her a
say to
hug.
you, Hungary, is that you have support here as well, and that you are a role model for so many women in your country. So it's very interesting because we talk a lot about the people that inspire us, but it's a weird feeling to realize that we can be the inspiration for other people. So even as you sit here and you bare your soul to us, you are representing so many beautiful women in your country. Thank you.
Thank you.
And now to Canada. Canada, my question for you is, how do you handle peer pressure?
Oh, peer pressure is a huge subject, especially when you're young, when your outlook on life is still shaping, when your personality is still developing. And for me, it's really important to speak about that and to be an example, because I'm not only speaking for myself, but I'm actually a sister of 3 younger boys, a little girl who is 21 years younger than me. And for me to not just say those things, but to lead by example is extremely important. So when I do experience peer pressure, I always think to myself, do these people know me better than I know myself? Likely not. And then you take a moment to really think it through and ask yourself, will this decision benefit my life or harm me in a certain way? And once you take the time to think it through, to make a decision that's right for you, that's right for the situation, there's no way you can be pressured into doing something that is impulsive or disturbing, harming. And I feel like if all of us had the courage to say no, to set some boundaries, then other people would feel more comfortable doing that as well.
Right. And as we're on the topic of representation, that's why things like Miss World and Beauty with a Purpose are so important, because we get to encourage each other to do positive things and make positive changes. And then we get to have agents all over the world doing the same in their countries. And the next thing we know, the whole world is lit up with just love and positivity and light. Thank you so much.
Thank
Canada.
you.
Côte d'Ivoire, it is your turn. What is the most important thing parents should tell their children?
Wow. You know, parents are such a huge blessing in kids' lives. I know my parents are such a huge blessing in mine, and trees of knowledge. And I just think the most important advice that parents could give to their kids is to embrace themselves, embrace who they are, and no matter what, never apologize for being who you are, you know? Because when you know who you are, when you know where you come from, and when you know where you're going, you're unstoppable.
Yes, being unapologetically yourself.
Exactly.
That's what's going to get you the farthest, because no one can be you better than yourself.
Exactly.
Right? Thank you, Côte d'Ivoire.
Yeah.
And now, Guinea, your question is, if you could break just one rule, what would that rule be?
Unfortunately, we live in a society that tends to tell you who to be and how to be, especially coming from a community with a strong patriarchy that tell young women and young girls that their purpose in life is to learn how to cook, how to clean, and how to take care of the family, which is part of who we are, but we are so much more. We cannot be defined by one thing. So if I could break anything as a rule, I would break patriarchy, because we are capable. Every single human being, whether you're a girl or a boy, you should know that you are worthy, and you should be audacious to be yourself and serve the purpose that you have in life. Because at the end of the day, what matters is that you are fulfilled and you are happy. I like to say that every single one of us has a place in life, and we should not be limited in who we can be and what we can do. We can be whoever we want to be. We can do whatever we want to do as long as we don't hurt anybody. So we shouldn't let society define us. We should really, really, really free ourselves from the gaze of others, because what matters at the end of the day is who you are and how you just want to live your life at the end of the day.
Right. As we continue to fight for equity, as among the genders, I realize that it's hard for one person to really shatter anything by themselves. But I think it's so incredible to watch all of you shatter, the little piece right where you are, and I do my part right where I am. And over time, I believe we've seen that a lot has changed and a lot will continue to change. But it requires women like you, Steph, women like all of us in the Miss World family, and women like any of you listening at home. We need you to get active in your communities so change can be sustainable and it can be made. I love that, Guinea. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, as Julia says always, is it not better to light one candle in the darkness than not to see at all? You are all the candle in each and everything that you do. So keep on striving, that soon you'll have the whole world filled with light.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Group 14, and thanks to all of you for joining us in the Head-to-Head Challenge. We'll see you for Group 15.